Hello everyone, and welcome to my example of the run-through for menu options, which was for Series 6 of Java. I've had multiple requests to do a video for this for some students that we were covering for the menu, and I was thinking of covering this anyway, so I think why not just put it up here on YouTube now, and some people might find this useful. So first to start off, obviously I have to quote that it's not my own work, that the author is Neil McGuinness, who is a lecturer up in Dundalk that has created and written this class. And it's basically the scanner utility that they would know. So if you're not in Dundalk, you might not be familiar with that class. Anyway, there's some useful stuff. If you need more, you can always just comment requests and we can put some stuff up if anyone's interested. So we have a menu. It's just for creating a menu so that the user can choose a number to go to the desired option that we use for our CA. It's just an explanation of how we use that. So the scanner utility is just to take in the number. That's all we're using it for. That's the only reason it's included. So you get byte prompt. All it does is it prints out what you ask, what you want to say, please insert whatever, and then it will get the next byte from the import of the scanner. So all you do is just put that quote in where you want that to show up. So first, the main has its own menu stuff, but first key point is the class, is menu options, the object. So that class there. So first what happens is, you start our app, and you have your private. Now these are objects, declarations, they're not initialized yet. That's private menu options. We've got a main menu, search menu, and a sort menu in this simple example. It is, once you kind of understand and go through it a bit, you can get it in like 20-30 minutes. So it's just going to tell you it's a sample. I'll show you this running anyway later. Initialize menus. Show the main menu is just the menu board. Menu to start, so this initialize just creates the menus. So see main menu there. This is your main menu. This.main menu, so that's the new menu options object. So that's like saying new menu options, main menu equals new menu options. And this is just what you're passing as parameters to the constructor for that object. And what it does is, you come in here, you have some private inside variables so that you can't access it. Now it's a list, and that's where the add comes in. So you add the option called search, sort, exit. Now 3 is the exit of the index option. So if that's 1, that's 2, and that'll say 3. So when they type 3, it will say exit. So the list will just iterate out the number beside plus the actual value of .get for this item. Same for the search menu. Put in its exit option, add, we'll just add, the method add is inside the menu options as a method. This is just the name that we're referencing a menu options from. So same down here, and 4, so when you type 4 you go back to the main menu. So before we go into these menus, now we're going to show that class, how it works. So this is menu options, and you have your list, and it's pretty self-explanatory with the comments as well. So the header is just like welcome to menu, and it's in the name of the menu or something. Indicates which menu choice is going to go back to the last menu. Now it works through loops, but this I'll explain it in the main. That's how it's initialized. It stores all the menu strings, so that's like all the go back, update record, delete record, stuff like that. So that's the name and the index of the exit option. That's what we passed in. Let's keep going back and forth to this. So index of exit. So if you highlight the word, you can kind of trace where it shows up in the page. Sometimes. Yeah, like that. See. It's separated for all classes by default, I think. That's how this works. Sometimes I use Notepad++ for reading some of this stuff, it's easier to track words. You just highlight the word and it'll just follow every occurrence in the whole document. That's where it's actually used. This index option is the index option. That's for setting, same as the constructor. I don't know why you'd use it. I think it's just default convention to put in setters and getters. So anyway, for the start of this, what happens is show menu get choice, it's called, and that is a string prompt, right? And if this list is 0, then you have to return -1. This is no choice, just return 0. Index is set to 1. Note we start menu is at 1, so the valid range is 1 to the list. The string s in the list, print out the index, which will be 1, and the option name, you know, which means the list is going to have 1, search by name, and then it goes up 2, search by age, 3, back to main menu. So each time this loop here will run. Yep, this loop, yep, index goes increment to 2. And this is after the loop. If you put ++ before, it initializes differently. I'm not sure how it would work. Been doing examples of that this year, but something I've kind of studied but a bit vague on how it works. So the int choice, obviously the user has to pick a valued option. So the prompt is what we wanted to ask them. 1 is the choice. So in choice scanner utility get int. So that's the prompt that you're going to ask them. The choice is going to be 1, and then it's this list.size is the range of valid choices, and then you return the choice. So add size and clear. This is the add. We add in a string, which is the choice. The string is these to the list. List.add. So this list.contains s. So you're putting in the string, say search by name, comes down this list. If this list does not contain the s, add it. Return true or is false. That's just a boolean to check you can do it. Add all is boolean success is false, and you return the success, which is add the s, which gives a boolean back from up here. So you'll always get true if it succeeds, otherwise it will fail. Public int size, return the size of that list. It's just default list criteria, you know, this.list.clear. Return the name, setters and getters, index options. So you know how to set all those. That's all that's in that. Main menu header border. Yeah. This one is the menu. Now this is statically set. So what that does is it kind of, this is the border. So what you'll get is a load of stars, and then the name, which is the option name. You'll get search menu. So you get like star, search menu, star, and then it's a new line. So you get a new line, stars, name, stars, new line, and then you'll come down and write all the options out. In this kind of square shape, you have one name, and then see the space is added. That's how that will generate and show. So we can kind of run that first. Now, there's functionality behind the options, but you see, if your new line, stars, name, stars, new line, and then you have your bracket array number 1 in the list. For each one in the list, index is going to be 1, and then +1 to the index, 2 and 3. And you just write them all out. That gives you the whole list printed out with this. The sample shows you how to use. Yeah, that's just in the main up here. So these things don't actually do any kind of functionality. You just paste it into the area you need it in, or after you've written the methods. So you see, if you hit 1, this is a loop that goes around until you hit exit 3. So this is now in another menu. So if you say 4, it's not obviously a correct choice. You go around again and again. That's how the main menu class is set up. No, MenuOptions class. You search by name. See, add by search code name. I'll show you where that's appearing later. If you go 3, that's the exit option. What it does is, it does not loop round, it's a while loop. do this, so it will show that and ask you while the choice is not equal to the exit option. So it breaks out of the loop when you hit the option that goes back. That stops the search menu going round. Finally, the main menu that was frozen, so that you go into the sort menu. Main menu is now frozen while you're in a second loop, because obviously you come out of a method when you finish one. You keep going round. This one, you will then do your choices. It does the code that's there, hits the bottom of the while loop, sees that the choice is not index option for this search menu, which is 4. And you have to be careful when you line them up that you line up the displays correctly. You can obviously get the displays wrong, so you can make sure that your exit option is the actual last option in your menu. That's usually the only way this will work. If you put it as, say, back to main menu is option 1, you can't really do that. It has to be the last option in this class. So you do all your options, it always just does the code, comes back. If the code is wrong, it just goes round again without doing any of the code. And the other one, we do back to main menu. A Facebook message about this now. So when you hit 4, you see it's come out of that choice. The while loop ends, and it continues with the main menu can now go round again when it hits the while at the bottom. Because basically the main menu's choice is just calling another menu method. It's just like code inside the options for the age and stuff. It just goes and calls another menu instead of any kind of method, which then runs and comes back out and gives you another choice, asks you for another choice, you know. So when you hit 4, you go back to main menu, that unfreezes to main menu, hits the bottom, says, oh, the choice that I did choose when I was at that menu is not the exit option 3. So it'll keep going round. So you have 1, and then that's another loop. You come back out into this menu. Finally, when you've in your whole 3, that's the end of the menu method, which is the only method that the main app start method will call. That's the only reason why it ends, is that's finally finished its loop. All the other menus loop within this, deeper and deeper and deeper, and this finally closes out, sees there's no more code to run, finishes. Now it only says goodbye because each menu is going to print that out after the while loop it escapes. So to show a few examples there, as you can see that's all the example does there. So let me just clear that off there. So we have the 3 main menus, so you have to define those menus. They're not main menus, but it's the titles of the menus, sort menus. So those are just main menu objects. Now each method doesn't have to be defined, but you should, is for each method you would take separately. You can't use a global int, otherwise you'll confuse it. Each one must have its own int choice, otherwise you'll pick up the wrong one and it'll confuse it. So every time you're in another menu you want a new int separately created. So that when we're in this one and we go within this one, while this one's frozen, we don't want the same choice to be used, so we'd have to create loads of different variable names if we made them global, so just make them local. So do, which will do the code here while this is true, but the do is always run the first time no matter what. Let's go for our menu. So do choice is this dot main menu, show menu get choice, enter your choice. Now that's the scanner. That is there, you know. That's the main menu. Show menu get choice. So maybe even in here, you see, this is your string prompt. This will be your scanner. We'll take in your choice and return the choice back to this method. So choice is then equal to the value that you chose. So that's just like using a scanner.get. It's just like using a scanner utility directly, but it's just all contained within the class, so you can move it around. So if the choice is 1, then you show the search menu. Which means you just call this method and that runs. Same for choice 2. You can do that. Now, you notice there's no choice 3 for the exit, because what happens is it'll run whatever's there, there's no ifs, so it just keeps going, hits this,